I mean, right out the gate for the production, sounds very, very Playboi Carti-esque.
Everything changed the moment Playboi Carti finally unleashed his long-awaited album, I Am Music. For months, the hip-hop community was buzzing with rumors of missed deadlines, cryptic social media posts, and whispers about who might feature on the album. Then, in what felt like an overnight shock, Carti dropped the entire project, complete with not one, not two, but three separate appearances from the legendary Kendrick Lamar. Fans across the globe immediately flocked to streaming platforms to see how these two drastically different rap powers meshed.
Yeah. Next one, Good Credit. Number 15, featuring Kendrick Lamar. I'm really surprised that Kendrick Lamar is on here.
And the results have been dominating conversations ever since. But as the dust starts to settle, one question rings loud and clear. What does this mean for Drake? The artist widely recognized for his nonstop presence at the top of the charts is now battling a perfect storm of hype generated by Carti and Kendrick's unexpected team-up. With Drake's latest project, SSS for You, still trying to gain serious momentum, there's a growing sense that these Kendrick features may have just derailed the entire rollout. How did we get to this point, and why are these three new tracks triggering so much chatter? But let's break it all down, from the tension simmering between rap's most iconic figures to the strategic moves that may reshape the entire music landscape.
All of the tracks are out and about from the finally released, long-awaited, brand new Playboi Carti album, Music.
Long before I Am Music actually appeared, fans were on an emotional roller coaster. Playboi Carti has a history of teasing releases without warning, disappearing for weeks, then casually dropping breadcrumbs that spark a blaze of online speculation. This time was no different. Seemingly random tweets, cryptic Instagram live moments, and bizarre cameo sightings at studio sessions had everyone convinced the album was coming any day now, only for weeks to pass without any solid updates. Amid this chaos, insiders leaked details of potential tracks, while others swore the album was going through last-minute changes.
Ye just called out Kendrick Lamar for being on Playboi Carti's album. Last night, Carti released his highly anticipated album, Music, which featured Kendrick Lamar on 3 separate tracks.
Adding fuel to the fire, Carti was spotted working with cutting-edge producers known for unorthodox sounds. Some sources suggested these sessions were producing something unlike anything else in rap, while others dismissed the rumors as just more Carti-driven hype. Still, the possibility of a star-studded guest list loomed large. Many fans speculated that Travis Scott might reappear, or perhaps a cameo from Kanye West, now frequently referred to by different monikers. But nobody saw 3 Kendrick Lamar features coming. In the end, the rollout looked like a tangled web of hype, half-truths, and pure speculation. Yet, every twist and turn kept fans glued to social media.
Fans noticed Drake unfollowed several celebs on his Instagram. So who did he put on the chopping block? Kendrick Lamar.
Desperate for any clue as to when or even if I Am Music would ever drop. When the day finally arrived, Carti kept his announcements minimal. He simply let the album hit streaming platforms, confident that his hardcore followers would do the rest. And boy, did they ever. Hip-hop feasts on surprise collaborations, but seeing Kendrick Lamar featured thrice on a single album, especially one by an artist as stylistically different as Playboi Carti, was like a lightning strike in clear skies. Kendrick has long been revered for his meticulous approach. Every guest appearance feels purposeful, every line carefully crafted to make a statement.
Kendrick Lamar's latest album, GNX, debuts at #1 on the Billboard 200 charts.
So when fans realized he'd contributed not 1, but 3 full verses, plus extra vocals in places, the internet erupted. The synergy might not seem obvious on paper. Carti is known for his experimental, sometimes chaotic approach to rap, combining distorted beats, off-kilter flows, and an otherworldly atmosphere. Meanwhile, Kendrick's style is built on narrative complexity, social commentary, and an ever-shifting lyrical form that can move from laid-back storytelling to rapid-fire wordplay in a heartbeat. Yet these differences prove to be a goldmine. Where Carti's vocals wrap around eerie production,
Been Kendrick Lamar's year. And as we've taken this month to highlight Latin and Black artists, we close out Black History Month by spotlighting someone who is what the culture's feeling.
Kendrick's verses land like electric jolts, grounding the unpredictability with tight lyricism. Just as important, these features are spaced across the album in a way that keeps listeners guessing. One track might highlight Carti's airy melodic refrain before Kendrick barges in with a barbed commentary on the rap scene. Another shifts the vibe to darker territory, almost cinematic in scope, and sees both artists exploring brand new territory for their respective fan bases. But as soon as talk about Kendrick surfaced, the inevitable question followed.
The fact that K-Dot on here though, y'all don't question
It's
that.
kind of crazy, bro. That's so.
The irony, it wasn't just one song, 2 songs, but 3 songs.
What does this mean for Drake? After all, Drake had been strategizing a major resurgence with SS for You, only to find the spotlight hijacked by a triple threat from Kendrick. Let's see how this collision of stars is shaking up the charts and possibly dethroning an icon. From an industry standpoint, timing can be everything. Drake's SS for You was positioned as his next major statement, a pivot back to gritty rap vibes, some rumored experimental touches, and enough big-name features to ensure success. He'd already begun a calculated media push, rolling out snippets, teasing collaborators, and building up the usual wave of anticipation that accompanies any Drake release.
LeBron James and DeMar DeRozan. Both were in attendance at Kendrick's pop-out, but DeMar was on stage dancing and made a cameo in the Not Like Us video.
Then I Am Music crashed the party. Overnight, fan attention shifted. Where Drake's new singles once dominated online discussions, the conversation suddenly swirled around Carti and Kendrick. Social media lit up with breakdowns of Kendrick's verses, theories on potential subliminal jabs, and memes celebrating how the real rap is back. Meanwhile, mainstream listeners, many of whom enjoy Drake's brand but also respect Kendrick's artistry, started gravitating toward this unexpected trio of new songs, pushing streaming metrics higher and higher.
He also unfollowed Playboi Carti, who was affiliated with Future Metro and A$AP Rocky. There's a version of No Face with Carti on the hook, but he was removed from the final version.
It's not that Drake's name lost all power, he still commands a massive, loyal audience worldwide. But the momentum took a serious hit. Key rap forums and major entertainment publications began running stories comparing Drake's push for top chart spots to the unstoppable buzz around these Kendrick features. In a genre as competitive as hip-hop, that shift in the narrative can be devastating. The simple reality is that major players like Drake need to maintain forward momentum, constantly generating hype for new singles and sustaining interest in the broader project. When a cultural event hijacks that narrative, it can upend months of carefully planned strategy. But let's be real, this goes beyond numbers on the Billboard charts. Drake might recover, or he might have to adapt his entire approach. Yet it's the artistic dimension of these Kendrick verses that truly has fans reeling. Across these 3 collaborations, Kendrick delivers everything from melodic introspection to razor-edge criticism. The track that's generating the most noise, tentatively titled Good Credit, is a masterclass in layered references, swirling conspiracies, and lyrical wizardry that has fans replaying lines over and over again. Here, Kendrick addresses what many interpret as subtle shots at Drake. Granted, he never names names directly. He doesn't have to. Longtime listeners have picked up on references to so-called enemies lists and moments in rap history that tie back to Drake's most infamous feuds. It's the kind of subtext that invites endless online debate. Was Kendrick really talking about that rumored 50 Cent cosign or Drizzy's alleged watch list of rivals? Or is the rap community simply reading too far between the lines? Beyond the Drake tension, Kendrick also seems to signal a bigger picture. He's asserting a vision of hip-hop that puts artistry above all else. Bar for bar, he emphasizes growth, authenticity, and a refusal to play by the industry's more superficial rules.
After a Drake beef that reached a peak with the release of Not Like Us, K-Dot had to pop out and show him at his Juneteenth show.
Some lines allude to his historic Super Bowl halftime performance, underscoring how far he's come and the legacy he's determined to protect. Whether it's a melodic hook or a barrage of syllables, Kendrick's message remains consistent. Rap has the potential to evolve and unify when artists push boundaries rather than chasing formulaic pop hits. But let's not forget the sound behind these lyrics. Even without the Kendrick features, I Am Music might have stood out. Carti's obsession with atmospheric, otherworldly production is on full display. Warped bass lines, haunting vocal loops, and dramatic drops that keep listeners teetering on the edge. Industry stalwarts like Carto lend their signature crisp beats to a handful of tracks, reinforcing the album's broader sense of sonic adventure. That sense of adventure gets kicked up a notch with the rumored involvement of Mr. West, the artist formerly known as Kanye. While no official credits have confirmed Kanye's role, a certain melodic progression on one track and a cleverly sliced vocal sample on another have fans speculating that he left his fingerprints on the final product. Kanye's history with both Carti and Kendrick makes the theory more than just wishful thinking. These artists share a penchant for pushing genres to the brink, then dragging them back into mainstream conversation. The track Backdoor epitomizes this experimental synergy. Carti's airy vocals blend seamlessly with a surprising melodic range from Kendrick, an approach that feels more R&B than either artist typically ventures. While the background production echoes dreamy pop influences, the overall vibe is undeniably rap. Critics point out that Backdoor seems primed to dominate multiple charts simultaneously, from traditional hip-hop tallies to more genre-crossing playlists. If so, that spells trouble for Drake's attempt to place his singles at the top of the pack. Of course, wherever there's innovation, there's also controversy. Some argue the album's release date itself was chosen to undermine Drake. One rumor suggests that Playboi Carti specifically waited until Drake's SS for You started picking up steam, then dropped I Am Music.
Because Playboi Carti is, in fact, music. Says it right there on the cover. Anyway, if you're at all familiar with the lead up to this album's release, you guys are already familiar with the fact that it has been pushed back again and again and again
to siphon away all that attention. Others point out that March 14th is historically tied to certain Drake-Kanye riffs, fueling speculation that this release wasn't just accidental, but a carefully chosen date meant to strike a nerve. Kendrick's involvement, especially post-Super Bowl, adds another layer to the story. Some believe he timed these features to coincide with a lull in his own schedule, maximizing their impact while reaffirming his place as one of rap's most untouchable figures. By choosing an artist like Carti, known for his rebellious and trend-setting style, Kendrick effectively taps into a different lane of the hip-hop audience, broadening his reach without compromising his authenticity. Then there's the online chatter about cryptic lines that might relate to legal accusations or lawsuits. Drake has often been rumored to keep extensive tabs on rival artists, occasionally resorting to behind-the-scenes tactics to stifle competition. Kendrick, on the other hand, has made it a point to address these rumors in his own indirect way, dropping cryptic bars that might be referencing hush-hush feuds or insider secrets. All of these controversies point to a broader shift in hip-hop, a moment where walls between mainstream and underground rap are crumbling, ushered in by Carti's chaotic energy and Kendrick's unflinching lyricism. For years, rap fans have been divided. Some champion the melodic, atmospheric stylings of newer artists like Playboi Carti. Others cling to the dense, lyrically focused approach of veterans like Kendrick Lamar. With I Am Music, those worlds collide. Carti's bass, often described as vamps for their nocturnal devotion to his music, suddenly finds itself face-to-face with the lyrical depth that defines a Kendrick verse. Meanwhile, Kendrick's followers are venturing into Carti's moody experimental domain. The lines are blurring, and the possibilities for new sounds, collaborations, and creative partnerships seem endless.
Good Credit, and Backdoor. Well, it seems like Ye wasn't feeling Kendrick's contribution to the project. He says, "I don't like Kendrick Lamar's music."
In many ways, this album represents a blueprint for hip-hop's future. If artists can embrace collaboration over competition while still maintaining healthy rivalries that push them to excel, then we could see more boundary-breaking projects emerge. Whether it's lyrical juggernauts pairing with experimental producers or melodic superstars testing out poetry-driven flows, the potential is enormous. On the flip side, Drake's predicament proves that no artist can rest on past successes indefinitely. Even if you've dominated charts for years, a single well-executed project, especially one that unites powerful forces, can shift the terrain overnight. Drake might respond with a surprise EP, an unexpected single, or another media blitz, but the fact remains the rap community is hungry for fresh approaches, shocking pair-ups, and genuine artistry. Anyone clinging to formulas from 2 or 3 album cycles ago risks being overshadowed by the next big move. In a genre built on innovation and fierce competition, Playboi Carti's I Am Music has emerged as a cultural moment. By recruiting Kendrick Lamar for 3 powerful appearances, Carti created a project that's part spectacle, part artistic triumph, and part statement on what hip-hop can achieve when different styles converge. At the same time, these collaborations echo with subtle challenges, subtle shots at Drake, rumors about strategic release dates, and claims that the industry's established hierarchy might be in flux. For Drake, it's a wake-up call. While he remains one of music's biggest stars, the days of automatic chart domination are not guaranteed. Listeners crave novelty. They want raw talent, bold risk-taking, and a sense that something genuinely new is unfolding. Kendrick, with his triple feature spree, exemplifies that novelty, bridging the gap between mainstream appeal and underground mystique.
He raps very good, but I didn't need to hear him on Carti's album. And then Ye posted, "Niggas can't be the king until they take down the king."
So what happens next? Will Drake's SSS for You rally, bolstered by his relentless promotional machine, and reclaim its intended spotlight? Or will these Carti-Kendrick tracks continue siphoning attention, ushering in a new era of unexpected collaborations and boundary-mashing releases? One thing's certain, the rap community is witnessing a pivotal moment, and whichever direction things go from here could define the culture for years to come. Where do you stand? Are you eagerly streaming the Carti-Kendrick trinity on repeat, convinced this marks a revolutionary shift? Or do you believe Drake has a master plan up his sleeve that'll retake the throne? Let me know your thoughts, because the story might have just begun and we're all strapped in for the ride.